of this university and all your activities, because we are aware that it's an avenue to expose our students to skills that will make them competent even when they go out of this university. It will expose them also to the world of work and able to acquire the experience needed so that even after leaving this university, they will not only become entrepreneurs, but they become employers in labor and able to add value to the society and their own lives. That is why the university will continue to do everything within its means to support SIWES activities and the unit. I want to encourage us that as we are going on this industrial training, we must make the best use of the experience we gather there. As we are aware that this university has zero tolerance for any form of indolence and indecent behavior everywhere you find yourself. And I know the supervisor will be coming around from the university and from ITF to ensure that you are on ground and you are your area of assignment and you are able to gain what you are supposed to gain. And I want to be sure that that is one of the reasons why this orientation program is organized, to expose you to some tips that make you perform better when you're on the field. I want to encourage us, my beloved students, to be good ambassadors of this university, where you are posted to and wherever you find yourself. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and our great students, it's on this note that I, on behalf of the Vice Chancellor of Ekiti State University, Ado Ekiti, Professor Edward Olorunshola Olanipekun, declare the year 2020 SIWES Orientation Program open. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Prof, representing the Vice Chancellor, I want to welcome once again. I want to say thank you. I want to appreciate the Vice Chancellor too for the usual support the SIWES unit has been receiving from the management of the university in making things to run well and to be able to mobilize well our students for every IT year. Thank you and God bless you, sir. On this note, that will close the opening section of this program, and we'll be moving straight to the second section of the program without wasting much of your time. And the next thing on the agenda, we go to 1.8 straight. We skip 1.6 and 1.7. And we'll be going to Head of Training Address to SIWES students. And I have the honor and privilege to invite our mommy from the ITF area office in Akure, Mrs. Adams. You are welcome to the podium. You are welcome to the podium.
Thank you. Great Nigerian students. Great Nigerian students. Good afternoon. This is it's just to sort of orientate you on the background of SIWES. Okay. Just very briefly, SIWES started in 1973. And that was when the federal government realized that the graduates from the tertiary institutions were having difficulty finding placement or having skills that they could use in the industry. And so they realized that there is a gap between what goes on in the classroom and what actually takes place in the workplace. In the classroom, we were exposed to the theories. We do understand the theories. We understand the workings of these things. But when they now take us to the place of work, we were having difficulty making the connection. All right? And so the federal government said, instead of us continuing to have this gap, let us do, after a certain duration in school, we take the students to the workplace for a short period of time so that they can not only know the theoretical part of a machine, but they would now be able to see these machines, touch them, and possibly learn how to manipulate them. So that's just basically the history of SIWES. And when it started, SIWES was meant for very particular few departments like engineering, applied sciences, and all that. But over time, they have expanded the number of departments that now subscribe to SIWES. Now, the objective of SIWES, or why are we even going for SIWES? The first thing, like I said earlier, is to bridge the gap between theory and practice. I will use the engineering department. I don't know which of the departments would deal with what they call the lathe machine. You realize that even if you have such a machine in this place, it might not be the latest model, because there's no way the school will continue to buy a new model every time a new model is introduced to the workplace. And so you'll see that the student is probably taken through that specific model, but by the time he or she graduates and goes to the place of work, that model is probably no longer in use. I remember when I was my first degree, the computer we used was the very old computer. Then what we were using, the package we were exposed to was WordPerfect. And then we're doing what they call DOS. I think some of you wouldn't even know what these things mean anymore. So if I had only learned that, and I come into the